Welcome. You've got mail.
Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Hope you guys enjoyed that little piece of nostalgia. If you're around my age, you definitely recognize it as the AOL dial-up tone, how we used to connect to the internet. Now that clip does have a little bit to do with today's video. So the other night I was watching one of my favorite comfort movies of all time. It is one of my favorite autumn fall movies that I watch maybe 8 to 10 times every season. I'm talking about the 1998 rom-com You've Got Mail starring Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, where two Upper West Siders living in Manhattan meet in an AOL chat room and start forming kind of this email relationship.
You've got mail.
At a time when the concept of meeting somebody online still felt very new and novel, you know. Now it's the norm, but back then, seen as like weird to meet somebody off the internet. Very different than today's culture, but kind of makes it all the more fun to watch. Definitely recommend if you haven't seen it. I think it's streaming on Max, I believe. But I was thinking, just kind of watching the movie and seeing that it's based and mostly filmed in the Upper West Side, which is also not too far from my apartment. I thought, hey, I have today off. Why not go to some of these locations and just kind of see what they look like today in person? So I have some addresses in my notes app and I'm gonna take you guys with me. So if you're interested, come along. And if you like city vlogs, kind of a day in the life, out and about type videos, definitely go ahead and leave this video a like and click that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. And if nothing else, it's a nice day, a little cold, otherwise should be good. So let's get out of here. So I'm here in the Upper West Side, and I am on the street apparently where Kathleen Kelly's apartment is. I just need to look up the address again and see if I can find it, but I think we're close. All right, I see the building, but here, I'll show you guys. So I feel super awkward like filming someone's house, because that's just that's just someone's apartment. And it was probably only used as the exteriors in the movie. I'm not sure about that, but I'm assuming so. This street is like the epitome of Upper West Side vibes. All right, gonna have a sit here at one of the entrances at Riverside Park. It's this little kind of beautiful green walkway area. Oh, look at this little bird. Hi, birdie. This is the very beginning of the movie where it zooms in into Kathleen Kelly's apartment, and her and her boyfriend, they're getting ready to start the day. And as soon as he leaves, Kathleen then rushes to her laptop, which is, by the way, is an Apple PowerBook 3400. Fun fact, at the time in 1997 when that was released, it was marketed as the world's fastest laptop. So
12 times CD-ROM and a 240 megahertz processor, it is the fastest notebook computer the world has ever seen.
And you know how much I love a vintage Apple product. I definitely went on eBay immediately after watching this recently to just kind of see what it was being sold for. But anyways, she opens up her laptop, she logs onto AOL, here's that infamous
You've got mail.
So without giving too much away, she works at a small independent bookstore, also here in the Upper West Side, where we're going to go to a little bit later. And her online romance happens to be the owner of Fox Bookstores, which is kind of comparable to a Barnes & Noble, and they're moving just right across the street. And so they kind of are competitors and almost enemies in real life, but online, on their internet lives, they have a real connection. And so that's just kind of the premise of the movie. And that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna spoil too much, maybe a couple, especially the ending. There's for sure spoilers at the ending, so spoiler warning from here on out if you don't want those. Check out this random cannon. Wonder what it's pointing at. Everything is so Christmassy. I love New York this time of year. So festive. Uh-oh. The Barnes & Noble. Okay, wait, I'm so sad because I swear when I first researched this video, that Starbucks was open and now it's closed. This was the infamous Starbucks where Joe Fox, where he does his little monologue where everyone needs to make 6 decisions just to order a cup of coffee and get a sense of self, whatever he said. I think another reason why the Starbucks was kind of like a staple for this movie was to kind of tie into like how the Fox bookstore was going to throw out the independent bookstore, and now Starbucks is going to throw out independent coffee shops. And so I guess just commentary on the gentrification of a neighborhood, and also just the desire people have to kind of preserve things versus, you know, accepting change and whatnot. It's right there. The scene is so good. And then literally right across the street is our next location, Zabar. So this is the scene where Kathleen and Joe Fox know about each other, but they don't know who they are online yet. And since Fox Bookstore is running her bookstore out of business, they're not exactly best of friends. So they run into each other at the grocery store, and she's trying to hide from him. And then when she goes to pay, she ends up being in a cash-only line, and she only has a credit card. And then Joe has to come and kind of sweet talk the cashier into letting her check out. So they have kind of like a little moment here. So now we're gonna go to Zabar's. I need at least a breakfast sandwich and a coffee because I'm starving. I ordered a breakfast sandwich and a coffee. Americano is my go-to. Just waiting for it now. So that was so good. I actually didn't go into the actual Zabar's grocery store part. I went into the cafe portion because I didn't need anything at the grocery store at the moment. Don't really want to carry that around. But the breakfast sandwich was delicious. And now I need to look up where I'm going next because I can't remember. So we're approaching Café Lalo, which in the movie was where Kathleen Kelly and Joe Fox, their online selves, agreed to meet in real life. Kathleen says she'll meet him at the coffee shop. She'll be there with a book and a rose. It's right here. It is closed, which I knew this one was closed. That was even like the fence where they were kind of looking over, Joe Fox and his friend, to see what she looked like before committing to go in. And then once they found out it was Kathleen Kelly, he stands her up, but then goes in a little later as himself as like an accidental run-in, and just kind of a little bit of mind manipulation. Like, I don't know if I'd forgive somebody if they did that to me, but. So I'm here in Verdi Square, right here on West 72nd Street, right by the 123 72nd Street station. And I feel like a lot of the movie kind of takes place in this little kind of square radius here. A lot of stuff around, like we're not too far from the shop around the corner, the independent bookstore. That's gonna be our next location. And I'm also just thinking about like why I love this movie so much. One, I think has to do with just like anything early is internet, 90s, early 2000s internet culture. I am all for. I have such fond memories of AOL. AOL really was my first exposure and experience with the internet. So it just made it really fun, you know, especially when like the internet used to be like a place in your house. Like you had the family computer and that is where you access the internet. And when you walked away from that computer, you were no longer logged on or connected. It was just a different time. All these birds just flew around me. What's up, pigeons? Be nice. I have nothing to feed you. Gray's Papayas, really famous hot dog place. I don't really like hot dogs, so I'm not really one to ask, but apparently people travel for it. I don't know. How much better can a hot dog be after you've had one good one? These brownstones are gorgeous. I just want to live here one day. If only to have millions and millions of dollars, you know what I mean? And there it is. So this is where the shop around the corner was. It was right there. And I don't know, it's just so cool to kind of like be in the exact area where a lot of this movie takes place. Also, I remember thinking like, oh, she lives on West 89 and works on 69. So I guess that's just 20 blocks, a 20 block walk that we did today. But yeah, so a few kind of notable scenes from that bookstore. Obviously, this is where she works. This is the store that she's trying to save throughout the movie, despite Barnes & Noble or Fox Bookstore moving in. You know, she's the store owner. It belonged to her mother. Her mother has since passed and left the store to her, so it really is just a very personal theme in her life. And I'm not gonna say what happens to the bookstore. I'm gonna leave some things as a surprise, just in case some of you haven't seen the movie yet. Kind of funny right here, there is an Apple authorized warranty repair and retailer. And the Upper West Side Apple store is literally half a block away. So I guess you have options. No monopoly on Apple repairs and services in Upper West Side. And there's the Apple store. All right, so it is starting to rain. And according to the weather app, it's only gonna get worse and it's not gonna stop for a couple hours. And so I don't think I really wanna get stuck in anything, especially when I have to go all the way to a park where I won't have like quick access to a subway. So I think I'm gonna leave the remainder of this video for future Mike to take over, and he'll show you guys the 91st Street Garden. Oh, rude. All right, for the third time, they're really testing me. I'm gonna throw this over to future Mike now. Future Mike here, picking up where past Mike left off. And I feel like so many things have happened since then. Like, I got a haircut, one. We had Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Today is New Year's Eve, the day that I am recording this. So it's the final day of 2025. And I'm finally gonna finish this video before 2026. We're here at Riverside Park walking to the 91st Street Garden. It is the middle of winter, so it's not gonna look as beautiful and flowery as it does in the movie, where when that scene happens, it is in the spring. So at the 91st Street Garden, this is the end of the movie. So if you don't want any spoilers, I am asking you to click away now, because I am gonna pretty much ruin the entire end of the movie. So go watch it and then come back to this video. So we're at the end of the movie, and Kathleen Kelly and Joe Fox have decided to take their online relationship to the next level and meet in real life. Now the thing is, Joe Fox knows that Kathleen Kelly has been the one he's been emailing with, but Kathleen Kelly does not yet know that she has been talking to Joe Fox this whole time. And so kind of sets it up so that they meet in person. I don't know how I feel about that, if I'm being honest. Like, you kind of knew that the whole time. Feels a little manipulative, but it's a 90s rom-com, so it works, right? So they picked to meet at this garden in the Upper West Side. And again, remember, this is at a point where meeting somebody off the internet is a crazy, strange idea, kind of just the early beginnings of that. So here is the 91st Street Garden. It's literally called that. I have been here in the spring, and it's beautiful. As you can imagine, there's flowers covering all of these trees, all of these plants, bushes. Very gorgeous. You can see it in the movie too. They do shoot it in the spring, and Kathleen Kelly arrives, hears Joe Fox's dog bark in the background, turns around, sees Joe Fox walking the corner, realizing that Joe Fox has been the one that she has fallen for, that she has been emailing with, and has built a online connection that has translated now into real life. It's a beautiful moment, and she says those famous words, "I wanted it to be you. I wanted it to be you so badly." Oh, it's so good. And that's the movie You've Got Mail. Definitely one of my favorite rom-coms. I know I only kind of talked about a few different scenes and jumped around a bit. I tried my best to kind of shoot this in chronological order. I don't know if it ended up that way. But if you haven't seen the movie, I definitely recommend. If you have seen the movie, always worth a rewatch, holds up so well. And this also was a super fun video to make, kind of going around to some of the iconic locations from the movie, having some more context and visuals of like where this took place, what they were seeing. Obviously, this is almost 30 years later, but still cool. But yeah, that's it for me and this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all have a happy new year and that all of your dreams, goals, ambitions all come to fruition in 2026. As for me, I'm definitely going to continue to make videos, make more videos for you guys. So definitely subscribe and stick around for that. Yeah, this was super fun. Thank you guys for hanging out, and I'll see you all in the next video and in the new year. Bye guys.